Hello and welcome. Here we are, December 1st, baby. First day of the month, new change. Lots of new stuff, right? It's good. We're almost through this fucking hellacious year of 2021. I think we'll all be glad to get past it. But in the fantasy news world, it's you got 2 more weeks basically till most playoff formats begin. This is Wednesday. We review the Fantasy Football Sevens Charity League. We go over the best performances from every position: quarterback, running back, wide receiver, tight end, kicker, defensive, special teams, defensive lineman, linebacker, defensive back. Do not forget, please go check out Iggy's fantasybetting.com. While there, you can listen to the podcast, subscribe to YouTube. Please do that for me. Load onto your favorite platform wherever you listen to this podcast or any other podcast or your music. I'm found just about everywhere, and it's pretty fun. It's really fun, man. But yeah, the Fantasy Football Sevens Charity League, we were able to donate over $1,000 to Kawasaki's disease. This is my format that I've built after playing 10 years of being a commissioner in fantasy football. The point system is different. The scheduling is different. The setup is different, and the playoffs is different. And it's probably the best way to play fantasy football because it ends all eliminations. There's no argument for the playoffs. You play your division twice. You have 6 division games. You have 4 more conference games where you play a complete other division. And then you play cross conference where you play 4 games. You play another division. So you play 3 entire divisions out of 4. It's set up like a mini NFL. It's a lot of fun. All right, let's get to the top performances of the week. We got Matthew Stafford at 34.98, my friends. Not a bad week for the former Lion product. They still lost, but he put up a good amount of points. The running back, you saw Gronk talking about him, 4 tutties. Lombardi Lenny had 43.60 points, good enough for the highest non-defense special teams. It's the second highest score behind the defensive special teams. Sorry, I'm tripping on my words a lot today. 29.50, Cordell Patterson. Man, he's amazing. That was a wide receiver. On Sleeper, they have dual designations. I really don't like it. It's kind of lazy and kind of a cheat code, in my opinion. But if you're not breaking any rules, you got to utilize those people as best as you can. All right. So that's 29.5 wide receiver Cordell Patterson. He has a running back wide receiver designation. Tight end Mark Andrews, 19.75, always the least scorer in position. Hey, this is why I don't require a tight end in this format. You have a flex and you have a super flex. If you want to play with the tight end, no problem at all. But it's the lowest scoring position in fantasy for a reason. Kicker, 28.5, Daniel Carlson. Just a hell of a Thanksgiving. He said that he had a food poisoning or like uncontrollable diarrhea, and he said he'd go out there and wear an adult diaper, and he went out there and had the best game of his career on national television. That game was the most televised game since 1990. I think they said the most televised, most watched football game since regular season football game since 1990. And he put on a clinic, man. So for those of y'all who thought football is dead, or I'm not watching football because of my political beliefs, man, it looks like the world's not going to miss you at all. Go join your cult and disappear from the world. 66.74 points for the Miami Dolphins. Just defense, man. This format is set up so that when these defenses have the once in the year performance that they have, they get rewarded for it. Miami had bukus of sacks, pick sixes. They picked off Cam 3 times. They picked up Walker 4 another time, so 4 just interceptions. When you do that, you need to have a good point system. And 66.74, because can you imagine only getting like 14 points from your defense, and you had to watch Leonard Fournette have 43 points because he had 4 touchdowns? No, make your defensive scoring right. It's very simple. 34.25 points for Jalen Phillips, the rookie, man. He came on and had a heck of a game. That's the way you do it. Whenever you have an IDP that has a score that high, that's generally going to correlate to the team defense. And he had an amazing game. Not only was he the highest scoring defensive lineman, he was the highest scoring linebacker, as they put him as a dual designation on Sleeper. So 34.25 points for the rookie. The Dolphins, I think it's a little bit too late. I said it about 3 weeks ago. If they're going to do it, they're going to have to make this push now. And they are. They're doing it. So shout out to them. How about another rookie, man? When you get, I remember Warren Sapp saying, like I said, I've been watching the NFL Network before Warren Sapp was even making commercials for the NFL Network. So before he was a host and way before he got let go as a host, he said something that always stuck in my mind. He said, once you get to week 12, you're no longer a rookie. You've already played a complete college season by that point. 12 games, that's more than most college programs play. You've had 4.5, 5 months to know this playbook, to know your teammates, to know the speed of the NFL. They're no longer rookies. And look what's happened on the defensive side of the ball. All three IDPs, even though it's a dual designation for Phillips, all three of those are rookies. They are no longer they're more veteran than they are rookie. They're closer to be considered a vet than they are a rookie because, at the end of the season, you're technically a veteran, right? So what's the difference in 1 week? What's the difference in 4 weeks? After you've done these 12 weeks, these rookies are enamored. If they're good, they're going to be good. And you can take a look at Patrick Surtain and Phillips just dominate the IDP scene. Very nice, very nice. All right, let's go to the weekly chart here. A lot of good stuff. Breaking it down for you. The Lita Conference, we got Big Amo with the Game of the Week winner, baby. Not too bad. Not too bad. I want to give a shout out to Flyer on the Wall. He beat me, man. It was only my second loss of the season, but he would have beat not only anybody in my league, he would have beat anybody in all of the 48 teams that is fantasy football sevens. So shout out to Flyer on the Wall. He got 242.68 points. Once again, the Lita Conference, highest scoring conference. Well, no, last week it was Valerio Customs. And then second. So it is our turn to be the top. Way to go, guys. In the Moolah Conference, the most competitive league across probably all of the sleeper fantasy format. I don't think there's a closer group of people from first to worst than these 16 teams in sleeper, NFL, Yahoo, ESPN, my fantasy league. I don't care where it's at. This is the most competitive league there is out there. I'm very serious. We'll go back and review it a little bit. But shout out to Luis Venez, man. Not only is he the Game of the Week winner, his team Venez had the highest score of the week, getting the triple down, baby. Game of the Week winner, and highest scorer. Some people just rise up to the occasion when it happens. And that's you, Mr. Luis Venez. And you scored 237.84, good enough to top the Moolah Conference. Congratulations, my friend. We also have, moving along to the China Conference, man. Big game of the week, Adam Cole Bebe. I'm talking about Rich M302, man. Put him in there, got him hyped up with the pre-speech. He gave me a fire for my game of the week speech. And he answered the bell call. You know what I'm saying? Or the ball. He answered the toll. And that's what you do. That's what you do when you get in the game of the week. I put you in the game of the week because there's a reason. Because if you win that game, it's probably going to dramatically increase your chances of going to the playoffs. And if you lose that game, your season could have been done. So shout out to you, Vanessa. Way to answer it. Way to step it up. You got to have clutch people in life. Sure, anybody can be doing good when things are going good. What about those people that can keep it going when things are going bad? Those are the people you need. So shout out to Rich M, on the Adam Cole Bebe. He answered it. And the highest score, I'm bringing Hassel back, 224.55, baby. Way to go, man. The China Conference, there's some people that are spaced out, and there's some people that are way ahead. Let's go ahead and just tell people who we got in the game of the week. I got Phil, my man, Phil Swain, going against only Sandro Tudu, 9-3 teams. One of them is likely not going to make the playoffs. Maybe both of them. It's crazy. It's crazy to be 9-3, and not make the playoffs. That's just crazy to me, man. But that's going to be the game of the week. In the Lita Conference and the Moolah Conference, we got a big one. MC talking about Mary Claire versus Murph. They're tied for the division lead. Murph has the most points, so he's probably going to get in the playoffs either way. This has massive implications, though, as MC's about 80 points behind Tyson for the wild card spot. But if she overtakes Murph, wins this game, she doesn't have to worry about a wild card spot. She might just be in it to win it. So MC and Murph, shout out to my guy Murph. I know he's out there working hard right now as we speak. In the China Conference, we got a battle going on for first place as well. We got Valerio Customs, the highest scorer in his division, versus Mikey, man. Team Bobcats, baby. Team Bobcats, baby. Both these teams lost. I don't normally give it to a game of the week to two teams that lost right in a row. But this game has massive implications as Valerio is the leading uh, scorer, but Mikey controls the division. However, if Mikey loses this game, Valerio moves into first place in the division, and all of a sudden, Mikey's no longer has the points required to get the wild card. Very massive game in the China Conference. Let's all stay tuned to that. All right, let's go through real quick and just look at teams that are for sure. I'm going to say, like, it's hard for them. It'll be hard for them not to make the playoffs. Those teams are me and the flyer on the wall. You have a 200-point advantage over JJ and UFC. So probably safe to say that we are in and we're going to battle it out for the Eddie Guerrero representation. And that's just that'll be fun because you just beat me. And then when in the Kurt Angle division, it's all but over. In 2 weeks, there's no way 50 Shades of Drunk can make a comeback and get the point total needed. I just gotta say, to go 0-12, it takes a lot of not giving a shit to go 0-13 in a league. So shout out to 50 Shades of Drunk for being that person for me. Let's see here. Jeff Hardy division. This is the battle. This is the battle of all battles right now. Because we got Big Amo. He has punched his ticket in. Nobody can take the division crown from him. And he has the most points in the division, in the league as well. But then we got Ben Rolfe at 2,546.33. And my man Fantasy Good Sports at 2,393. So you're talking about a difference of 153 points. That can be made up in 2 games. That's going to be interesting to see who grabs that one. And then the most competitive division of all time, we had a 10-2 team, a 9-3 team, a 9-3 team, and a 6-6 team. Ceremonial is sitting in first at 10-2. He only has 2,490 points. Phil Swain is at 9-3 in second with 2,477.87 points. So less than, like, that's 13 point difference. Then we have only Sandro or Ordonis at 2,357.3 points. So he's not quite there for the point total, but he's 9-3. He's battling Phil. It's going to be hard because the person with the most points in the division at 2,553.3 is FF Hustler, my man, Fantasy Football Hustler. He's only at 6-6, though. He's 4 games out of division lead. He's 3 games out of these other 2 teams, but he has he's got 60 more points than the next closest team. And remember, points get you in. So Phil versus Ordonis, Sandro, I cannot stress how important this game is. If Fantasy Football Hustler takes down Ceremonial, all of a sudden the division is going to be between 2 people that will have to go back and look and see how you competed against each other. An amazing game. My favorite division in all of the charity league, man. It's just a lot of fun. A lot of fun. Let's get down to China. The China division. Let's look at the divisions real quick to see who's in and who's out. Oh man, my man Ryan Incubus Ryan Army 10-2, locked up the division, has the most points in the league. You're in. Right after that, we got 6-6, 5-7, 5-7. Do not look at that though. Let's look at the points. Sam Whitley has 2,334.6. The FSA Tweets has 2,342. So as it sits right now, Liam is the one that's in the playoffs by 8 points. And then Jared Gray can still do it, 2,191.74. If he has 2 more massive weeks to end the season and you 2 guys lay a dud, he can get in. The only one that's in right now in the Rock division is Incubus Ryan Army. Heartbreak Kid, hey, guess what? Gary H. 8-9, man. I think, is this the game of the week versus Sports Liddell? What's happening right now is it is Sports Liddell and Rich M. Sports Liddell looks like he beat Gary maybe that week. I can't tell. But either way, Sports Liddell has 2 division wins. Gary has 2. We're coming into the divisional round, and this is a huge, massive battle going on. So Gary H, 89, 8-4. If you win, you're in, baby. 2,475.91 points. Sports Liddell, 2,487.76. Rich M, 2,352.55. Queen Roxanne at 2,101.15. So anybody's still alive, but it's going to become a showdown between Sports Liddell and Rich M as long as Gary wins one more game. And the Undertaker division, man, it's a tough one right here. 6-6, 5-7, 5-7, 4-8. So everybody's still alive for the division. That's crazy. Bobcats baby holding it down with 6-6, 2,297 points. Valerio Customs 2,509 points, 5-7. By far has the most points. He's about 300 ahead of everybody else. Ross D 1987, 2,217 points. So as it sits, he's 80 points behind Mikey. Technically for that wild card spot. We got British FFL. He's been on a tear lately. He's just a little too late. 2,031 points. And in the Mick Foley division, we got the guy that was undefeated. He was undefeated. He's dropped 2 in a row now. ADZT66, 2,581.25 points. Then we have B Smitty 123114 at 8-4, 2,302.69 points. We got Tyler 250R at 7-5 and 2,527.07 points. He's had the most points put up against him, 2,480, but that's a close one. Tyler, as it sits, you have a 225-point advantage over B Smitty. Just keep it up. He can, if you lay 2 duds, he can come back and get that. But if you just keep pace, you should be able to get in the playoffs, my friend Tyler. Let's move it along to the Moolah Conference League. All right, we got some battles in this one. Nothing to say here. There are 2 teams. With Greg's performances in the Warrior Bowl, Greg, you saved your season hopes. W.J. Schuler got the win. He's sitting over Fernando Timbo, 2,615.22 points. Very nice. Fernando Timbo has 2,567.22. They're both at 8-4, but what matters is the points because Greg right now has 2,379. So as it sits, he's a little over 200 points behind you, Fernando. If you lay that low point total like you did this past week and Greg lays a big point total, he can catch you. That race is far from over. Kamala division, one of the toughest out there. I've already told you, 5-yard rush Murph, man, my guy, sitting at 7-5 with 2,650.99 points. It's first. He's playing Team Hammer this week. She's at 7-5, 2,314.88 points. And then here's where it becomes interesting. Should MC lose to Murph, we have a battle for the wild card spot potentially with Tyson having 2,355.27 points. So he's like, what is that, 40 points over Team Hammer right now. And then not to be outdone, Rostas is only sitting at 2,000.39 points, and that's only 300 behind. He can make it. And it's also weird because Team Hammer 5-yard rush, somebody's going to win and go 8-5, right? If Tyboski wins and goes 7-6, he just beats 5-yard rush Murph, and he plays MC the last week. It's chaos in the Kamala division, man. It is absolute chaos. 5-yard rush Murph, though, he is sitting pretty with 2,650 points. Kind of be hard for somebody to come back and take that as long as he's still setting his lineup. Welcome to the Iron Sheik division. We got 8-4, 7-5, 6-6, and 5-7. It's brutal. Richard, man, you just blew it this past week. I had you in the game of the week for a reason, my friend. It's not over, though. It's not over. You still got a chance. You really needed to win that game, as that would have put 10 men in first, and then you would have only been, well, you're technically sitting in second for point total. Let's go through the points. Vanez has 2,338.41. He's got a 1-game lead on 10 men. 10 men is sitting at 2,569.79 points, the most points in the division. He's sitting in second, though. Folio, how the mighty have fallen, my friend. 2,119 points. You're going to have to work. You're going to have to try to scrap and get that division lead to get into the playoffs, because I don't think you're going to catch up against these guys that are just putting up points. Richard, my man, you've lost a lot in a row, but you still have 2,375.71 points. Man, dude, that's if the playoffs ended and 10 man gets in first, you got it. That's just crazy. I don't know what's going to happen in the Iron Sheik division with 2 weeks left. Let's get to the Andre the Giant division. We got 2 teams 7-5, 2 teams 5-7. It's anybody's ball game. It's anybody's ball game. It's freaking wide open in this division. Right now, NATO sitting in first with 2,480.4 points. We got Joey the Tooth Baby, 2,379.95 points, coming in hot. He's coming in hot to this last season. In fact, he just took over Cooper's dad, who had 2,373.79 points. We're talking about a 6-point difference for the playoffs right now. 6 points, 2 weeks. That's going to be crazy. Not to be outdone, though, my man, it's Luke. He had such a bad start. He's on a tear lately. He is on an absolute tear. I'll have to go back and look and see if he can win the division. I think he started out too bad, Luke, to do it. Yeah, you went 0-3 in the division. That's a killer, man. I mean, you went 0-5. Since that point, you've gone 5-2. if you would have just won one of those games, man, you'd have been sitting in a different position. I don't think you can take the division as you're not going to have enough wins. But you can't make it interesting, man. Just go in there and finish strong, finish at 500. That's something to hang your hat on right there. I love it when people keep competing. It's Luke Duck Duck, man. That's a great performance. Do not be ashamed of it. Get up there. Let's get you to 500 and let's see what happens. All right. All right, guys. That's going to kind of wrap up the show today. I go through it pretty fast. I know it's a lot of fun. It's Fantasy Football Sevens, man. I absolutely love it. It's my format. I created it. It's not going anywhere. It's going to keep getting very popular in the fantasy football world. Because why don't you want to play with IDPs? Why don't you want to play with the biggest points? You don't want to get those pick sixes. You don't want to get Patrick Surtain running down the sideline, just not even running, like jogging and getting the points. You want those, man. So go check out Iggy's fantasyandbetting.com. We'll get to there. Go check out Super Draft while you're there. If you like playing DFS, $0, $20, $50, $100 a month, go check it out. You sign up. It's yours. It's a lot of fun. And then if you live in a legal state like me, the pools are so much smaller. That's where I'm winning a lot of my money lately. It's a good time, man. All right, guys. You guys take care. I'll talk to you.